Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome. This is Sheila. Welcome into my kitchen, guys. I have a wonderful recipe for you today. Guys, we are going to make some beef vegetable soup. As you can see in the back here, I have my corn, I have some carrots, and I have some potatoes. I have all of my onions and celery and rosemary and parsley, garlic and onions in this bowl. And I have my beef here, guys. For this recipe, guys, you're going to use that stewing beef, guys. And over here in the skillet, I got me some oil going, getting hot. So what we're going to do with this beef, we are going to brown our beef before we make our soup, guys. Also, you're going to need some beef broth or some beef stock, or you could use one of each. You could use a container of, or a can of beef broth, and you could use one can or container of beef stock. It's up to you guys, but we're going to get right into this recipe, guys. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and add that beef into our skillet, guys. And this beef is for our soup, guys. So we're just going to let that cook up. Okay, guys, we're going to put a little season on our beef. You can use whatever blend that you want, guys. Just make sure you season your meat up pretty good, guys. So what we're going to do is just brown this. And just let our meat brown, guys, before we make our beef soup. Guys, I want to call it stew, but it's soup. We're going to have some beef soup. Alright, guys, it's browning up pretty good here now. Okay, guys, I have simmered our beef for about 15-20 minutes here. You see that brownness at the bottom? That's what we want, guys. We're going to use all this flavor in this skillet to make our beef soup, guys. So I want it to get a little bit more browner. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just keep cooking, guys, until all of the liquid at the bottom of the pan pretty much disappear, guys. And then I am going to show you what I'm going to do with this recipe, guys. Okay, guys, this is what I am looking for. So what we are going to do, we're going to give our beef a little stir here, guys. And then we are going to take it off the heat. And I am going to add a little cooking stock to our beef, guys. And we're going to let this cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then we are going to make our soup, guys. Now, guys, you can skip this step if you want to and just make your soup. Okay, guys, we are going to take our beef and we are going to transfer it over into a pot and we are going to make our soup, guys. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and add our cooking stock This is beef cooking stock, guys. Then we're gonna add some beef broth. And we're gonna let that just heat up and come to a boil, guys. Okay, guys, while we're waiting for our beef broth and our beef cooking stock to heat up, we're gonna add 2 cups of water. And then when our recipe comes to a boil, we're gonna add our meat and our vegetables. And then we're gonna see how this recipe come out, guys. Okay, guys, now that our broth and our cooking stock then came to a boil, and we have 2 cups of water in this recipe, we're gonna add our beef into the pot, guys, okay? You're gonna add all of your beef, and you're gonna pull all of your juices and drippings out of the skillet into the pot. And you're gonna let this recipe cook for about 20 minutes. Because we want our beef to get good and tender, guys, for that soup that we're about to make. So make sure you add all your beef and your juices into the pot, guys, everything. Now, guys, this cast iron skillet is kind of heavy, so I am going to pull all of my drippings into the pot after my skillet cooled off a little bit. And then we're gonna mix this recipe together, guys, and make us some beef vegetable soup today. Okay, guys, we have our 2 cups of water. We have 132 ounce of our cooking stock in this recipe. And we have about 16 ounces of beef broth in this recipe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our potato, guys. So I prefer the red potatoes in this recipe. I just like the flavor, but you can use whatever potatoes you have in the house. And we're gonna add them potatoes into our recipe. Then we are gonna add some carrot, guys. And I prefer these carrots with my recipe, guys. And I like to just let them just cook in there, guys. And then we are gonna add some corn on the cob to this recipe. And as you can see, we have our potatoes, we have our beef, we have our carrots. So we're gonna add some corn on the cob to our recipe, guys. And then we are gonna add some okra. Now these okras are fresh, so I like to add them in there like that, guys. And we're just gonna let this recipe cook for about 30 minutes on medium heat. Then we are gonna add some rosemary to the recipe. We're gonna add some parsley. We got some celery, we got some onions, we got garlic. And we're just gonna let this cook up in the recipe, guys. I'm gonna try to make it with these corn on the cob here, guys. We got one more to go. I think we'll make it, guys. So we got our soup all mixed up together here. Okay guys, we're gonna put the top on this recipe and we're gonna let it cook for about 30 minutes on medium low. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna see how this recipe came out, guys. So this is your soup, guys. You have okra, potatoes, corn on the cob, or you could put corn out of the can or frozen corn, whatever you have. I have my potatoes and my carrots in this recipe and my meat. You could put whatever you want in your recipe, but this is how I make my beef vegetable soup, guys. And we're gonna let this cook up for about 30 minutes. And then we are gonna come back and see how this recipe came out, guys. All right, guys, see you in about 30. Okay, guys, we got our okra, we got celery, parsley, garlic, onions. We got potatoes in this recipe. We have our corn on the cob in this recipe. And we got some nice carrots, rosemary in the recipe, guys. And we just letting this soup cook up, guys. We got about another 25 minutes to go with this recipe, guys. And it would take your corn, your okra, your carrots about the same time to get done. So you just mix this recipe up together, guys. And just let it cook. Then you'll be able to eat you a nice bowl.